Ayo, what is up, everybody? Coach Chad here, the CEO of the Next Level Coaching Academy and the creator of the Fit CEO podcast. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you got a little bit of a different background today. You guys are looking at my office, my bare naked office background. Uh, we live in a really nice apartment, but honestly, we haven't done shit with the office. So it's slightly embarrassing. Not really. I really don't give a crap. But I hope you guys enjoyed the different background. You probably will see it beefed up a little bit more. We are taking our content more seriously. I got a cool camera, a microphone, probably stuff you guys don't even really give a shit about. But as business owners, we think that we need. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy the change in pace. I got to be quick on this one. So we're going to dive right in per usual. I got back-to-back meetings. Today, I'm going to reveal the 3 business secrets. And before we dive in, you're probably like, Chad, business secrets. What do you know? Like, whoa, why should I listen to your secrets? Hit a really cool milestone last month. So as a business owner, I have now crossed the 8-figure in sales mark as of July 2023. So over the past X amount of years, my businesses have done over 8 figures in sales now, which is really cool. And it's a cool statistic being only 28 years old and being able to accomplish that. So what I'm going to talk about today is the 3 secrets that have led to over 8 figures in sales as an entrepreneur. So without further ado, let's dive into it. All right. The first thing is probably not the thing that you want to hear, but guys, there is no fucking secret. Yes, I am going to tell you 3 in quotes secrets, but there is no fucking secret. All right. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, if you're on any of these platforms and you see business gurus saying, I have this XYZ funnel secret and this XYZ secret thing, don't listen to them. They don't know what the actual freaking secrets are, because here's the thing, it's not any different than fitness, right? There's only so many ways you can skin the cat. In fitness, if you want to lose weight, you got to get into a caloric deficit. In business, if you want to make money, you got to get good at certain skills, right? The strategy, like I said, there's only so many ways you can skin the cat. The strategy is not different. That's not what the actual secret is. So stop falling for all these business guru tactics when they say they have this new shiny object secret thing. Because guess what? That's the same thing that you are preaching to your fitness clients, saying, don't listen to the people that tell you that they have this shiny secret. All right. Well, business and fitness parallels are there. So first of all, the first thing you got to know is there is no secret. All right. With that said, though, I do have the 3 secrets. not to make this an oxymoron, I do have the 3 secrets, and we're going to get into secret number 1. All right, you want to know what the first secret is to doing over 8 figures in sales and business? It's skill stacking. All right, you got to acquire skills. All right, and the very specific skills that you need to acquire, looking at my notes here, is you got to acquire the skill of sales. All right, you got to acquire the skill of marketing. You got to acquire the skill of client delivery, giving a great service if you're a service-based business. And you have to acquire the skill of leading, because if you're going to do over 8 figures in sales, you can't do it alone. You're going to have to hire a team, and you're going to have to learn the skill of how to manage and lead. All right, in what particular order is probably the question that you are asking. All right, this is the order that I learned them in. All right, so the first skill that I learned was sales. All right, the second skill that I learned was client delivery. The third skill I learned was marketing. And the last skill that I learned was managing and leading. All right, and the reason you want to do that in this order is sales is going to get you off the ground. All right, sales is going to get you from 0 to 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month. Sales is going to carry you all the way through. It is never not important. It is the foundational piece of your business, because without sales, you don't have a business. The reason I learned client delivery second is because you got to have a good product. If you don't have a good product, you are not going to be able to continue to sell, because negative word of mouth outpaces positive word of mouth. And if you are a selling machine, but you have a shitty product, it's only going to be an uphill battle to sell. Product or client delivery and sales are interchangeable. The better your product is, the easier sales become. All right. So that was the second, that was the second skill that I learned. The third skill that I learned was marketing. Because sales can only get you so far when you are a one-person show. All right. The way that we scale sales is with marketing. We got to get more attention. We got to get more people to know who we are, what we stand for, what our mission is, and what our product is. And that is done through marketing. All right. The last skill is, once again, if you want to do high volumes in sales, is you got to have other people to do it aside from you, which means that you need to step back from the doing and you need to become the manager and the leader of your company. So that was the last skill that I acquired. But that is secret number one. Secret number one is you got to acquire skills. All right. And the cool thing with skills is nobody can ever take that away from you. No recession could take that away from you. No government can take that away from you. No person can take your skills away from you. They can take your money. They can take your house. They can take your car. They can take all this stuff, but they can't take your skills. So once you have skills, as long as you are committed and as long as you are disciplined, you are unfuckable with. Nobody can fuck with you. If you go from making 7 figures to $0, your skills can get you right back up to 7 figures. So you have to commit to skill stacking. You have to commit to learning. And it's not just a in the beginning thing. It's not just a, I'm going to have a business mentor once. I'm going to read a book once. It's an every damn day thing. Read 10 pages a day. That's what I commit to, reading 10 pages a day. I try to listen to an excerpt of a podcast a day. I don't always get through the full podcast, but when I work out, got a podcast in my ears. When I go for a walk, got a podcast in my ears. I don't drive because I live downtown, but if I did drive, I'd have a podcast, right? So always try to be consuming information, always try to be learning, always trying to be improving your skills. That's secret number one. All right, secret number two. I'm going to pull up my phone because I got a list of the character traits that we're about to go through. But secret number two is develop and maintain character traits. I want you to notice, I'm not talking about strategies here. I'm not talking about building an XYZ funnel or doing this lead generation method and that lead generation method, because those are gimmicks, just like in fitness. These are the real secrets. What we're talking about today are the real secrets. Number one is skill stacking. Number two is develop and maintain character traits. All right, I got a whole entire list of the character traits that I think are most important. Okay, so these are the ones that have helped me create 8 figures in sales. So the first one is discipline and impulse control. All right, impulse control is extremely important. This is probably the one that I'm continuing to work on, because as you get bigger and bigger in business, there is a lot of shiny objects. There is a lot of different directions you can go. There's a lot of, Hermosi says, girls in the red dress that you can choose. But you have to be disciplined in your pursuing the one mission that you have. All right, and pursuing the one business that you have and going all in on that one business. All right, so the first skill that you need to learn is discipline and impulse control. You need to learn to say no to the things that are distracting you, impulse control, and you need to learn to stay disciplined on the things that are creating success. Every single day I'm doing this, this, and this, right? Some days that might change, but in large part, these are the things that drive success. This is what I'm going to focus on, and I'm not going to stray too far from that. All right, so that's discipline and impulse control. All right, I got to move quick here. I got a meeting, so let's keep it rolling. All right, you with me? You with me? The second one here is the ability to handle your emotions. All right, especially in the beginning, you have to be able to handle your emotions. I see this a lot with new entrepreneurs, but they think that, you know, when something bad happens to them, they didn't expect it, right? They didn't expect that that's entrepreneurship. Look, entrepreneurship is more shit than good. More bad shit is going to happen to you than good shit is going to happen to you. All right, and you have to learn how to handle that. You have to learn how to say, all right, this happened, move on and develop a game plan and continue to persist. Because if you sit in it and say, oh, why me? Why did this happen? I can't believe this happened to me. I'm never going to be able to make it. My business is going to fail. Then yeah, your business is going to fail. But the sooner you can say, yep, this happened. All right, what's the game plan, and move forward, the better of an entrepreneur you're going to be. All right, the next one I wrote down here is the ability to push through discomfort and do things that you hate. All right, you guys being fitness professionals, this should be a very easy one for you, right? We all hate leg day. I weirdly like leg day. Maybe you weirdly like leg day as well. But we all do exercises that we don't want to do to achieve the goal that we have. The same thing is true in business. We have to learn how to push through discomfort, and we have to learn to do things that we don't necessarily want to do. All right, the next character trait that you need to develop and maintain is the ability to create inspiration and reasons to move forward. All right, this becomes more prevalent the more successful you are, but you have to find reasons to stay inspired. You have to find reasons to continue to push forward. And that changes every day. Your reason one day could be your parents. The reason the other day could be you want the fancy house. The reason another day could just be, I just want to I just want to get through the day, right? The reasons are going to change, but you have to look around and find different reasons to get inspiration and motivated every single day. And it's not going to be the same shit. So you got to get creative there. All right, the next one here is the ability to effectively communicate. All right, once again, if you are going to grow your mission and scale your mission, you're going to have to be able to communicate to individuals on why they should give a shit about contributing to your mission, whether it's a staff member, whether it's a prospective client becoming a client. You have to become an effective communicator. All right, the next character trait is you need to develop the skill to be able to remove energy sucks from your day and your life. Now, that could be things that you're doing. Maybe it's drinking, maybe it's drugging, maybe it's a person, maybe it's removing negative energy suck people from your life. But you have to develop that skill of recognizing what's taking your time, what's taking your energy, and saying, I ain't doing that shit anymore, or I'm limiting how much I'm doing it, or changing my habits around it. All right, the next one is your ability to sacrifice for your mission. All right, you have to, it's literally at every phase. No matter how far you want to go, as long as you want to continue to go farther, you are going to have to make sacrifices. You're going to have to give up time on the weekends. You're going to have to give up some family time. You're going to have to work early in the morning. You're going to have to work late in the evening. You're going to have to do shit that's inconvenient. You're going to have to give up things that you once really loved to do. All right, to the degree that you are willing to sacrifice is the degree that you will be successful. So that's another skill that you need to learn. All right, and then the last one here is the last character trait here is your ability to take ownership and remove ego. All right, it wasn't until I removed ego that I was open and receptive to receiving other people's help. And that's when my business life really started to skyrocket. All right, so you have to understand that you can't pound your chest and say, I'm self-made and I'm building this shit, right? You got to remove the ego, and you got to be open-minded, and you got to be okay with being wrong, because more times than not, you're going to be wrong. And you got to be able to take ownership for that, because when you take ownership for that, you can see it for what it is, and you can correct your mistakes, and you can move on. All right, entrepreneurship is about trying shit, making mistakes, and learning from those mistakes. And if you have an ego, you will never be able to learn from those mistakes and move on. All right, so that's secret number 2, is develop and maintain character traits. All right, we're getting into secret number 3. And I have a bonus secret for you guys as well, which is secret number 4. All right, so secret number 3 is run an ethical business. All right, and this sounds like a no-brainer, right? Like, Chad, run an ethical business. Yeah, no shit. Like, of course that's going to make me successful. Not enough people are doing it. And once I share this perspective with you, maybe you'll realize that you're not running an ethical business as well. All right, here's the mic drop moment. More people are asking themselves, what can this business do for me? Instead of asking themselves, what can this business do for others? All right. And if you're asking yourself, what can this business do for me? You are not running an ethical business, because that means that your lens, anytime you're making a business decision, is how does this make me better? Right. But we didn't get in business just for me. Right? We got into business for a mission. We got into business for a cause. We got into a business to help other individuals. We got into a business to contribute, right? We're trying to make people fitter. Once we bring on staff, we're trying to boost their lives, right? I say this a lot, and I'll drop this right now. Your staff doesn't work for you. You work for your staff. You're trying to create opportunities so that they can grow. And guess what? If they grow, the business grows. And if the business grows, guess what? In return, you grow. All right, so that's a question that you really need to sit with. Are you asking yourself, what can this business do for me? Or are you asking yourself, what can this business do for others? All right, and that will tell you a lot about how you're operating your business from an ethical standpoint. But at the end of the day, you have to do right by your clients. You have to do right by your staff. You have to do right by your brand image. And in essence, you also have to do right by you, but you have to factor those other things into the equation. And the brand image one is a really big one. And the reason I love that question is because it gives me a bird's eye view on my decisions, right? I ask myself, if I do this thing every day for the next 365 days, what would my brand image be? What would people think of me? What would people think of NLCA? Right? And if the answer is it wouldn't be good, then you probably shouldn't fucking do it. So that's secret number 3, run an ethical business. And secret number 4, it's no secret, but it needs to be said, is you need to wait 5 to 10 years. One of the things I'm really not liking about the digital marketing space right now, and I'm not perfect, I've probably fallen suit to it, but I'm trying to change this narrative, and you'll see it, and you'll start seeing, if you get my ads, you'll start seeing it said in my ads. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I've probably fallen suit to this before as well, is it's going to take 5 to 10 years, guys. It's going to take time. It is not going to take, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 months, like 3 months to 10K, right? We do have a statistic out there that says of the students that have reached 10K, it has taken 13 weeks. And that statistic is true, but it's of the students that have. We don't say that everybody makes 10K in 13 weeks, because that's not super duper realistic. For the people that, for the top 20% of clients that do achieve that, yeah, it's amazing. But for most people, it's going to take years. And guess what? It took fucking years for me. It took 3 years to make my first 10K month as an online fitness coach, albeit I started at age 19 and I was super young, but no excuse. It took me 3 years to get to that point. And it's going to take you years to get to that point, right? I started entrepreneurship at 19. All right. I started NLCA in 2020. All right. NLCA, like I said, just cracked the 8 figures in sales mark over the past 3 years. If you take the combined of all of my sales, I don't know where it would be at. Maybe it would be at, probably a little bit higher in the 8 figures. I won't share exact specifics, but it's taken me almost a decade to get to the point where I'm at right now. And I think that's something that is not talked about enough and should be talked about more. And fuck it, I'll be the person to do it. All right. So that's my 4th secret, is you got to commit. You got to commit to all of the secrets. Secret number 1, skill stacking. You got to commit to secret number 2, which is developing and maintaining character traits, the ones that we talked about. You got to commit to secret number 3 of running an ethical business. What can this business do for others, not what this business can do for me? And you got to commit to this being a 5 to 10 year journey to probably realize the goals that you are trying to achieve. And then when you hit those goals in 5 to 10 years, you'll set another set of goals, and that will take you 5 to 10 years. All right, I got to split because I got a meeting. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I want to continue to challenge myself to be even more honest than I already am. I think honesty and transparency is one of my strong suits. It's one of NLCA's strong suits, but I want to share things that other people aren't willing to share. And I hope you enjoy that. So if you do, take a screenshot, tag me up on Instagram, leave a review, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.